Okay guys, welcome to my loot from 10,000 Mithril Bolts video, and my inventory, you see, isn't exactly what I've got. This is what I've got to begin with. I haven't actually started it, so this is going to be the pre-recording kind of, I don't know, mini clip that we can use as reference to compare from before and after. And as you can see, this is my current ranging XP, level 86. I actually got most of my XP from level 80 onwards at Tazar's, but hopefully with these 10,000 Mithril Bolts we can get somewhere around the ballpark or level 90, and if not, it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I'm going to be using Mithril Bolts the whole time. I've got 5 extra over 10,000, I've got 10,000 more in the bank that I'm going to be using, and I really just want to evaluate whether or not Tazar's are profitable and if they're worth doing. So if any of you guys want to use this as a reference, if Tazar's are any good, hopefully this is helpful information. It can help you decide whether or not you can figure out if Tzhaars are going to be good for you or not. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to be recording some of the drops along the way. Hopefully I will. It's going to be a bit annoying recording every single drop, so I will be leaving some of them out because it's just going to be very impossible to record every single one. But the 10,000 Mithril Bolts cost me 1.5 million GP, and hopefully we can make a profit out of that. This is my gear setup that I'm going to be using. I just kind of want to go through this quick so we can get stuck into the video. But yeah, I'm not going to be using range pots at the start, and I will let you know if I ever change my mind throughout the video. But anyway guys, we're starting off with $1.5 million deficit. What can we do with these 10,000 Mithril Bolts? I guess we'll find out. Okay, so my initial kind of approach to doing this was to break down the 10,000 Mithril Bolts and not take them all at once, because that'd be a little bit stupid. If you lag out and or get lured, you're going to lose all of your bolts at one go. So I broke the trip up into 4 goes, but unfortunately at the very start I did a trip that only took me about 800 to 1,000 bolts. So there ended up being 5 total trips that I did, and each trip took a ridiculous amount of time. I couldn't exactly tell you how long each individual trip took, but I'd say probably over 5 hours. So to give you guys an idea, 10,000 Mithril Bolts will last you a goddamn long time. So if you're kind of assuming that Tzhaars are some kind of quick form of EXP, I mean, they're alright, but they're not amazing in terms of speed. The only real good thing about Tzhaars are the drops, so they can kind of balance out your cost when using like bolts and stuff like that. But my test, of course, was to see if I leveled out, if I made profit, if I lost money, or anything, all of those above, and tried to see if using Mithril Bolts at Tazar's was actually profitable, and you know, if you guys are wanting to do this kind of thing over a long period of time, to give you guys a bit of information whether or not it's going to be viable for you. Because I know a lot of you guys don't have the most kind of heavy banks, and you can't exactly rely on, you know, the most expensive training methods. So I guess this is a good kind of test out if you're kind of running welfare, to see if you're going to make money out of this. But throughout this trip, I actually got somebody who, like, you know, knows who I am, and he told me to check out the bone crossbow. So he actually traded me one and around 1,000 bone bolts, and I want to thank that guy for that, because that was actually really good. Even though it kind of screwed up my overall tally, I got to test out the bone crossbow and see if it was actually better than Mithril Bolts. And I must say, guys, if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to Mithril Bolts, the bone crossbow and bone bolts are definitely the way to go. If you're looking at, you know, taking a made short bow and iron arrows or steel arrows, cut that shit off your shopping list. You need to go get yourself a Dorgshan's crossbow and some bone bolts. The fun fact about that thing is you don't need any form of quest requirement. I actually thought you did, so I was like, no man, don't give me that thing, I'm not going to be able to use it. He's like, no, I swear you can use it. So I equipped it, I got my bone bolts ready, and yeah, it turns out I actually could have used it. The only thing I couldn't use was the special attack, which, let's be honest, it's pretty useless. So yeah, that was really good. But yeah, the 10,000 Mithril Bolts is what I want to focus on, but at the end of the video, I will show the 4 inventories that I had at the end, and it will show you above each inventory what supplies I used, so you can kind of figure out what kind of, you know, loot I kind of got from each inventory with the resources that I had used. But please note, guys, that your trips may be a little bit different from mine, considering our range levels may be different. I assume that your range level is probably around level 70, It's just kind of a generalization, but not a lot of people who watch this will have 85 plus range. So please keep that into consideration when looking at the total loot and stuff. I'm gonna have a much more pack. Oh, I'm gonna punch. What? I'm gonna pack more punch when it comes to mithril bolts, and if you're not using range pots, you're not gonna have as many kind of kills per hour, etc. Kills per bolts used, I guess. But yeah, in a moment you'll see one last clip. And this is my favorite little clip. We had 25 bolts, I think it was, remaining, some ridiculously low amount of bolts, and there it is, 90 range to top it all off. But yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything. That's most of the drops, and here is my final inventory. So from left to right are my trips, and in their chronological order. And yeah, that's exactly the loot I got. You might want to pause that, but I might actually skip into the game and show you the total result. This is literally my 5th time at trying this. I kept getting distracted, but this is the final loot from our Tazar adventure, and I made sure to duplicate the inventory that we had at the beginning to make sure that I didn't forget anything. So I've cleaned my bank out of all Tazar items, and this is the final result. 5 capes, 7 moles, 3 shields. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that we didn't get more shields than that over that course of time. That's all good because the shields aren't exactly the most expensive, and we also got 1 heart key, which is a little bit of a troll, but yeah, I thought I'd chuck that in there because I did get it during the course. But yeah, we also got 48,355 toggle straight from Tazar drops. This isn't, like, I haven't sold a single item to a shop, and yeah, that's a lot of toggle if you guys haven't, you know, if you don't know how much toggle's worth, but especially from not selling anything. But I guess the big question is, did we profit? Now, we started with a $1.5 million deficit, and that's a lot of money for a lot of people. So mithril bolts can be up towards 200 each, but I wouldn't pay over 150. I'd kind of just, you know, scout it out the cheaper prices across the time. But we better calculate our winnings, I guess, for our immense amount of hours spent at the Tzhaars. Thank you, TXXO. But what we got is 5 obby capes, and I'm going to do a bit of graphics on the screen because I'm just crazy with fucking editing and shit, putting text over the Runescape screen. But we got 5 obsidian capes, and I'm going to charge them at around 250k each. Obviously the prices will vary, but check them for yourself, and just, you know, if the prices are different when you're watching this, feel free to, you know, do your own math. But that comes to a total of 1.25 mil. So we've almost cleared out our bolts straight out just from the capes, so that's a good sign. But moving on, 7 obby moles, I'm going to, you know, give them a cost value of around 150k. It's, I bought mine, no, I didn't actually buy one. I was going to buy one for about 200k when the server was pretty new, so these may be a bit more expensive, so yeah, I'm just going to charge them 150k just to be safe. But that comes to a grand total of 1,050,000. So currently, we've made money. We've made around 700k at this point, and all that's remaining is the 3 shields that I'm going to charge around 150k each, and for a total of 450k. So in total, I don't exactly know the numbers off the top of my head, but I think we've made a profit of approximately $1.2 million. GPs, it's weird saying dollars, which is pretty good. But the last remaining question I guess you guys will have is the total EXP gained. We started this at 3.6 mil. Keep in note that I used approximately 1k bone bolts, which will interfere with the total kind of used with the mithril bolts. But yeah, that's our total XP right now, 5.34. I'm going to be safe and say that we got a nice 1.6 mil XP out of the bone bolts, and I think that's being fairly considerate. So anyway, you guys, that is my loot from 10k myth bolts and 1k bone bolts inadvertently at Tazar's. I hope you enjoyed it. The XP rate for me was around 35 to 40k an hour, so in total I probably spent around 40 to 50 hours on this video, so I hope you guys can kind of appreciate the effort I went through to make this, and hopefully this helps you guys out with your endeavors at Tazar's, and hopefully you make some bank off it. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I think I might wrap it up for now because it's long as shit as it is, but anyway, I'll catch you guys later and take care.